Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Let me get things centered. Hope everybody's doing well. I am just going to pull this up on my Facebook. Okay, we should be good to go. How is everybody doing this morning? Okay, I figured since it's all about coming up to Christmas, now that Halloween has passed, and I don't think any of us got too many kids. I know, Terry, you did. You had some kids come, so that was nice. So I'm going to be playing around and doing some Christmas baubles today. So hi Jill, hi Terry. I was just talking about you, Terry, saying that you had a little boy come over, didn't you, for Halloween? That was nice. We didn't get anybody. So I have these baubles that I have from Pentart, and I've got various types, and I just wanted to play around with the baubles, but also Christmas rice paper from Stamperia. We're very fortunate because Stamperia does rice paper that is already in circles. So what that means is it kind of takes the guesswork out of, hi Min, how are you, Min? And Terry, I hope the little boy got young man got lots of candy. Your little Halloween setup was so cute, the picture you sent me. Yeah, so we're very fortunate that when Stamperia makes rice paper, that makes it really easy to create. It's lots of fun. So couple of things then. Any announcements? Announcements. I believe, not that I know who it is yet, but Paul and Dali are very close to a decision if they haven't already made one, as they were mentioning to me yesterday. Hi Liliana. If they haven't already made one, and they are going to announce it on Friday on their Facebook page. I've made my decision for them, so they know who I chose, and so we'll find out Friday, and they'll make sure to share it on my Facebook Pip Art Creations group, so everybody can know who the winner is. I have this gorgeous card kit coming up next week. It's from Antarctic paper, so stay tuned for that. And wonderful class, wonderful ladies this Saturday to do the Steampunk Maiden. We are just in the works with Tamara Morton, whom a lot of you joined to watch Vasilis last week, to do a Facebook live group for the Steampunk Maiden and the Seahorse project. There's just been so much interest in that, so we will be doing a online workshop, but that's in the works. We'll have more information later. And that's about it, really. I'm going to put my glasses back on because I was cleaning them. So, as I was saying, the rounds for Stamperia rice papers are really easy to work with. So I have one here. Hi, Peggy. I have one right here. This is one of my really nice favorite ones. It's so vintage, so beautiful. This is DFSA 4206. And with this one, I actually did blank little ornaments with it, and this is what I mean. Hi Monica, this is what I mean about making it really easy with from Hamilton. Hi Monica. To make it really easy to use these rounds, because the guesswork's taken out. Now if you've got a circle die, you can use that too to cut these out on your die cut machine. Now on this one, I've taken the rice paper, and I don't know how well you can see it, but it's got like a very vintage crackle effect on it. This crackle effect is done with the fine line Pentart crackle, which dries glossy, but it gives you these very, very fine crackles that you can see. And then all I've done is taken some of the brown wax and massaged it in and pulled it back with a baby wipe so that the cracks are, you can see them a little bit more, but hopefully you can see those little cracks in there. So that was using a DFSA 4206. I just wanted to show you those to just show you it doesn't have to be a round bauble. It can be wooden baubles too. We'll put that one aside. This one is one of my favorite. I really love the vintage. Good morning, Debbie. Thank you, Terry. Is vintage. I'm looking at this and I was thinking the challenge has started for this month. It's brown. We're kind of going vintage steampunk or a foresty feel. Basically, I think Dali and I were talking about it, and maybe go with the color brown and don't focus so much on the theme. But this would be great for the vintage look for the November competition. And this is DFSA 4256. Now the one I've been working a lot with is Pink Christmas, which is DFS 4314, and those are the baubles that I have here. So this one is really pretty. Again, all the circles are cut out for you. And okay, I know I keep saying they're my favorite, but this is really one of my favorite. Hi, Wendy. Oh, I'll keep quiet because you're in your staff room. So this one is another one of my favorites, DFSA 4325. This comes from the Winter Botanic scrapbook. This one comes from the Pink Christmas scrapbook. And the very first one I showed you, this one, it comes from the Precious scrapbook. And what else have I done? Keep all your scraps for rice paper. They're a lot of fun. Now, it's very easy to use rounds. This is a flat type of bauble. And actually what I did, to be honest with you, I actually didn't use a round, although the round would have worked perfectly with this. Hi, Caroline. It would have worked perfectly with this. Instead, what I used was this rice paper, DFSS 383. It's a rice paper that I actually use on my ice skate project. And it's a big A3 paper, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. And you can see this is a bird that I used right here. Nope, that's not the bird I used. It's this bird right here in this corner. Now, I liked using this because I had the matching paper left over to create my bowl. So there you have the rice papers I used. So basically, I just tore around one of the birds on the paper, and then anything that was left over, I just collaged it all the way around here. And then this allowed me to follow this round circle pearl line right here that I did. And I did the same for the back. I took out an image from the rice paper, and I can show you that image on that rice paper. It's these houses right there. You can see them right there. And again, just did a circular die, cut them out, and then the remaining paper I just used to build this beautiful collage as it matched. The other thing that I did was, in order to make it shiny, I used the glossy varnish by Pentart. And what this basically did, it gave it this really, really shiny look. Now you can leave it very matte. This is what it will look like matte. See if you can see the difference. One is matte, one is very, very shiny. Okay, hi Carol. So there you have that. What else have I used on here? I have used the rainbow glitter pen. I have used the red ruby red on here. It's hard to really show them up on screen. And I've also used a snow paste pen, snow effect pen. Let me see if I've got that right. Snow crystal pen. The snow crystal pen on this. And one of my new favorites is this contour pen. Hi Debbie, and the reason I like the contour pens is because you can see how thin these lines are that I can create along here, my tree. You can see it, I've used it for the branches here and down here. And basically, this is what the contour pens look like. They look like this. And they're a very, very fine liner. So I'll show you on a piece of paper exactly how fine they are. So they allow you to create all kinds of very thin lines. And I'll just do a quick little demo here. So do you see how thin that is? So they allow a 3D very thin line. So I have the sparkling gold and I have the sparkling silver. So they're really easy to use to detail your work because they're just so fine at the top. So they're easier than a 3D pen when you're doing detailed work. Okay, so those are your fine line contour liners. Like I said, I've got a silver and a sparkling gold. If I lower it, you can see it better. Okay, hon. Thank you, Terry. Is this one that you're talking about, Terry? Is that better? Okay. And again, this is what they look like. Sparkling gold and sparkling silver. Okay, so that's this bowl here. And then on the outside, what I did was everything. Let me just bring this up, Terry. Maybe this will help. Hopefully that will be better. Is that better? I have a lot of shadows today. You know, I think why I have shadows is because this little thing here is all see-through. I have a lot of shadows. Let me see, what can I do? Maybe to take those shadows out. Yes, I do. I see that now. I do. Okay. So then I use the snow paste, the snow crystal pen, because what they do is they're thin enough that they also allow you to give detail on this. Okay. And I wonder if it's this plastic on here that's giving the shadows. Okay. So that's that bauble there, okay? And then I've just detailed it a little bit. So that's one bauble. Now, the next bauble, I'm just going to see, Terry, if I can't get rid of that shadow. Let's see if I can't get rid of my plastic mat. And put a paper mat down, and maybe it's this plastic that's giving too many shadows. Oh, is that better? Is that less shadows or more shadows? No, I think it's about the same, isn't it? Okay, well, we're going to carry on. This one is done a little bit differently. This is using the bauble that I'm going to use today. And this is also done with doing a circular die here. Oh, you've been so helpful, Terry. Don't ever be sorry. If I don't get anybody telling me, then I don't know. So I really, really appreciate your feedback, and it's great to know. Thank you. So with this one, same technique, same paper. These baubles are actually out of half a sheet of that paper, all of them. Yes, Debbie, I have the big ones in stock. I have these big ones in stock, and that's why I'm going to be demoing this one today. So they look like this. This one, same technique, circular die, and then using leftover paper to just collage around. And then with this one, what we used is the 3D pen and some white little flowers. I don't know if you can tell. And it's got the white 3D pen. And that gives it more of a glimmery kind of look. And then it's got the clear 3D pen on here. It's also got the contour liner. So this one's a little bit different. It's quite dimensional. You might not be able to see it. It's quite dimensional. And then it's just ribbon, and this is just ribbon. But what it allows for is when you do that circularized paper is that you have a focal point in the middle, and then you have a nice little mishmash of collage, which just works itself really well and lends itself well to your whole piece. And then you've got the contour liner on the rooftops here also. Okay, so that's that bauble. And then this bauble is the bauble that we're going to be doing today, whose little bow has fallen off. This bauble we're going to be doing today, and it's really hard to see this bauble inside. It really is, but it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a 3D bauble using the pink Christmas rice paper, and yeah, it's going to be really hard to see it because of the light and just the way it is. But hopefully by making this one, because it is the hardest one to view, you will be able to see how I came about it. Okay, I'm actually going to see if I turn this light off, if it takes away some of the shadow, and no, it doesn't. So we'll bring that back. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do this. Okay, and the products that we're going to be using today are Delicate Metallic by Pentart, the Aquacolor Rosa Baby by Stamperia, some glossy varnish, Pentart Primer Gesso, 3D Ruby Red, and the glitter pen by Pentart called Rainbow. We have some Brilliantina Rainbow glitter from Stamperia, but you can use whatever you want. Of course, our decoupage to put down our rice paper. And we're going to do something interesting. We're going to create our own snow using products that you probably have in your stash, light modeling paste and the ice effect paste. And maybe I'll use the contour pens. I don't know. And, oh, I had to tell you actually, now that I think about it, the difference between these bowls, one is really shiny, one's got a glimmer to it. This is shiny, you can't really see it. This has a glimmer effect to it, or sparkling effect. That is because this one, I didn't use a glossy gel, I used a sparkling gel transparent silver. So you have that one. I'm not going to be using this today. And what else do we have here? We have the snow crystal paste and the ice crystal paste. But I'm not going to use this today. I am going to make my own snow. Okay. So, lots to do this morning. The first thing that we're going to do... Oh, and one more thing. I don't think I have any of these in stock. But there is actually a decoupage varnish and glue that is actually glitter. So you can actually decoupage with a glitter decoupage. Okay, let me get my bearings here. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to just clean your bauble. Like, I'm going to try and keep my bauble as clean as I can because this process needs you to sometimes dry, and I know that I'm not going to be able to do that as well as I would like to because it's alive. So I'm going to try and keep it as clean as I can so that you can see it. And I can see, because we're working with a glass here, these shadows are going to be there. I'm so sorry, guys. So I'm just going to clean that off. And all I'm using is a little bit of rubbing alcohol. So we have lots of these bowls in stock. Well, I say that and now I'm looking over where they are and I can't even see them. But we do have them. Ew, can't stand the smell of rubbing alcohol. I'll be high before you know it. So now that we've cleaned the bowls, the next thing that you want to do is you want to create your background color. Now, if we do it on the outside, what's going to happen is that you're going to have paint on the outside of your ball. So what we want to do is we want to actually paint the inside of the ball. So we are going to take our delicate silver, it's metallic delicate, and we are going to dauber onto our ball. Okay, you could also paint it on, but I don't like to do that because what it does, it will leave streaks. Hi Dali, it will leave streaks. So we're just going to take some of this paint, and all we're going to do is we're just going to dauber it on like this. And these balls fit together, so don't worry, because we're going to be covering up with ribbon, you're not going to see much. So you can see now how gorgeous that already is, other than the light poking in. So I'm going to do this quite quickly, but obviously you don't have to do it this quickly. And if you feel like it, you can come over it twice. I feel if you do one coat the first time round, that you don't actually need to come over it twice, but you can do that. This is a great project to do with the kids too at Christmas time. So there you have it. This is what it looks like inside. Okay. And then on the outside, see how nice and shiny that is? So this is what it would have looked like on the outside. Yes, I think so, Dali. The shadow is definitely from the baubles because they're see-through. So I'm hoping as we get going, we'll have less of a shadow. Terry was so kind enough to point it out. I tried to rectify it, but I couldn't. So I shall carry on. And that's it really. That's all you want to do. Just any areas that you see that you need a little bit more coverage. Like I said, I really just came in kind of once and worked with the same dauber here. Okay, so there you have it. Gorgeous ball. I'm just going to hold that up to the light. Okay, perfect in my mind. Yeah, I do, Handali, I do. These ones I do have. That's why I wanted to do the demo on this one because it's such a nice bauble. So there you go. Oh, I see a little bit here. And that's all you're doing, okay? Now, we're going to put this to the side. And we're just going to give it a quick blast, okay? Can I move my table over and see if I can bring that light in from the right? Okay, hopefully that will make a difference. Okay, so we're going to set that aside, and the next step that we're going to do is that we are going to pull some rice paper, and we are just going to take a little bit of a wet brush, and this is how I like to tear the rice paper because Dali taught me it keeps the fibers in place. So you're going to take a slightly wet brush, and you're just going to work around a nice size circle here. Probably wasn't wet enough. You just want it to fit in to your little bauble there. So then go ahead and tear that circle out. If you have any fibers, just cut them out. So there you have it, and I just want to get rid of some of these little edges here. Now in the big picture it's not going to matter too much because we are going to come over this again, okay? So just work along your little wet line. If you get, like I said, any fibers, just cut them with the scissors. So I've got one here that's not letting me tear. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there you have kind of a round little birdie. Okay, so we have all this paper left over, and that's what I mean about, had I put this on the front of my bauble like the other baubles were made, then I would have had all this paper to work to do collage with. So let's move these out the way. Okay, so I'm just going to sit this in here and see how it looks on this bauble. And this is what it looks like right now. Okay, so because it's got some creases in it, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to give it a couple of tears where I need the tears to be, so that what happens is that it will fit into my bauble perfectly. My little sister's here. She's like, you need more light. I think they want more light on the right side. The only one that I have is, I think, just give me a second, guys. I'll see if I can't use this one. My little sister's here. I think, did Tally send you? Did she send you and say, make that girl put on another light?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if this helps. Does that help, guys? Does that help? Oh, I was so blessed. My little sister, she comes down. She was like, you need more light. That's what the messages are saying. So I hope that helps, because I really, other than this, there's nothing I can really do. So please, Terry, how's it looking? I'm hoping that's better. So there we go. This is what you want it to basically look like. You want that in there. Oh, sure, Terry, that doesn't sound too convincing. But yeah, it is hard when you're doing a Facebook Live and you're working with products that don't take to light so well. Believe me, we do try to do our best. And I honestly think it's because of these glass baubles. They're reflecting light everywhere we go. Thank you, Min. I appreciate that. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I will carry on. Okay, so now I have my little bauble piece cut out. The thing is, remember I've always said when you put rice paper on a darker surface, you're going to pull up a darker color. So the first thing that we want to do is make sure that this rice paper is going to be really nice and bright. So what are we going to do? We're going to do a little bit of primer on the back of our bird to make it pop. So just take some primer and just put it on the bird, on the back. Now I'm going to bring my camera down a little bit more so that you guys can see this better. So I've got the white primer down where my main focus is going to be. And what this will do, like I said, now our paper will pop. So now see how much more vibrant that paper is than when it was just looking like this. So you can see the difference right there. Okay? Thanks, ladies. So this is dry. So the next thing that we're going to do is just dry the back of our rice paper. Okay, so once that is dry, the next step, as you know, with rice paper is the matte varnish, decoupage. Thanks, Debbie. We'll see you. Hope you catch it later. Okay, so let's go ahead and decoupage this on. So for me, I'm just going to bring the decoupage onto the paper because it's easier for me than trying to, yeah, I love what the primer does too. For me, it's easier to place this in the bowl than trying to do it, the decoupage in the bowl and put the paper to it. So I'm going to take the paper with the decoupage on it straight onto the bowl. Okay, so let's get this in the middle of our bowl. Now this is going on the silver, okay? So we're gonna pop that birdie in right there, just like that. And then just smooth her out. Now don't worry too much about the creases at this point. She's gonna be all nicely covered up in a bit. Well, not literally. And then what you want to do is just bring, you can see the birdie sitting in there now. What you want to do, hi Fendi, is just to come in and decoupage the top of your rice paper to seal it, and also to get out any bubbles that you might have in there that you don't like. Now don't worry about the frayed edges of your rice paper because we will go through and over that with our trusty primer. Okay, so now this is what you have, the bauble on the inside. So you can see how that's going to look, okay? Now, next thing that you want to do is we're going to use our primer again. And this time, what we're going to do with the primer is that we are going to do it just around on the edges to blend this in. So we're just going to take a little dauber and we're just going to put some primer on this. There's some white primer, and we're just going to do this. Just to start blending this all into the rice paper. Okay, thank you, Dali. And I like to use a little dauber on this one because it's a lot easier to control where the white goes. So can you see that nice frosty effect coming along now? So you just want to keep doing that. And you're just going to go all the way around. And again, if you want to, you can come back on with 2 layers of the primer. It's entirely up to you. Now at this point, I could also put on some glossy varnish onto my bird to make it shiny, but we're going to skip that step because I'm quite okay with it not being glossy. So this is what you have now. You have this beautiful snow effect right around the bird. Can you see that? And like I said, if you want to bring in some more, just go ahead with the dauber and do it again. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, so now the next step that you're going to do is that you're also going to take your primer and you're going to do a little soft edge around your ball here. This is your other clear ball, and this is because we want to create a little bit of a snowy effect on this ball too. Doesn't have to be too much. I'm going to go a little bit less than I did on my last one because I think sometimes less is more. So this is what it looks like. Can you see that lovely frosted effect there? So that's what it looks like. So this one, you're just very gently just coming in and out a little bit, okay? Not so much trying to get complete coverage. This is more of a stipple it, and don't worry too much about this. This part isn't really about getting coverage. So you can see how fast I did that, and I will show you the ball, what it looks like. Okay, so it's just like a nice little snowy effect. And if you got somewhere that you got too much, just pull it back. You don't have to worry. You can wipe it back, okay? So there you have that. So that's your ball done on the outside. Now the fun part comes, okay? Well, we got our primer. And again, you can come in as many times as you want. So next step is the fun part. Well, let's do something first and then we'll get to the fun part. I am just going to come in with a sea sponge would work good for that too. Actually, you're right, Debbie. You're right. And I was thinking of that, but I don't have any. I'm just going to come in and I am just going to do some detailing work with my glitter rainbow pen here, and which is just about out. And I don't know if you can see that in there, but it's in there, right there. I do have to get some of those glitter, those sea sponges, but I'm not sure where you would get them from. It's so hard to show you guys this detail that I'm getting with this pen. But maybe you can see it now in there. It's kind of glittery in there, right up there. And then the other pen that I'm going to use for this bird, just for today, is I'm going to come in and make some red berries. So I'm just going to do a little bit of red here and make that berry 3D. Make this berry 3D and make this berry 3D. And can you see those beautiful berries there now 3D? Oh, I'll have to check them out. Okay, so there you have it. And you can actually keep going and decorating this as much as you want with your 3D pens. You can come in with your contour liners, but I'm going to leave it at this because I don't want to overdo it at this point. So let's have a look at what that looks like right now. So even like this looks so gorgeous, even just like this. It looks really pretty. But we're going to build it up. So you really want that 3D to dry, but we're not going to dry it because we're just going to carry on and keep going. So here I have my modeling paste light. Let me get this off here. And this is where you have to be careful because you try not to get this all over your ball. So I'm going to clean my hands first because I have got some on my hands already. Okay, so let's put that ball aside. We're not going to use that ball. So what I have here is a few items that I would like to put into my ball. So I've got some Christmas trees, are these, no, they're not acorns. I've forgotten what these are. I don't know. And then I got some little red berries. Okay, so that's how I'm going to build it up. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to come in with your modeling paste, and you just want to put it down like this. You see that? See how you're building up that snow there? And then just put a little bit more in like this. Okay. And because it's like whipping cream, see the little peaks that you can create in there. Okay, so pine cones, thank you. Pine cones, that's what it is. Okay, so I'm just gonna stay off the edge a little bit because I know that's where my bauble has to come in. Now, once you've done a little bit of this, come in and sprinkle on some of the glitter, and what that will do is it will give it a glittery shimmer. Okay, so now you have this gorgeous glitter shimmer over this. I don't know if you can see that. Then the next thing that you're going to do is clean your palette knife, and you're going to use the ice effect. So the ice effect is quite chunky, as you can see. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put that in, and you're going to work it with your modeling paste. And this is what's going to give it the stiffness for when it dries, so that it stays up. So you're just going to work that in just like that, okay? And I should really clean. And can you see that, how I'm building that up? I'm just going to build it up just like this. Okay? And you're going to continue to build it up with a little bit of the ice effect and a little bit of the modeling paste. And now you can see you're getting this really nice little build-up of these little icy snow. So just mix it up like this, and then create your peaks. And then at this point, what you can start doing is you can put this one to dry, not literally, bring in a little bit of your modeling paste and just brush it onto your trees here. Okay, just brush it onto your trees like this. And you're going to do that with all your little trees. I'm going to use 3 trees, and you're just basically just brushing it on gently. Just to give it that kind of snow-kissed, is there such a thing as snow-kissed? Snow-kissed look. Okay, and then you're going to continue doing that with everything that you have. Okay, and then you've got your little pine cones. Give them a little bit of snow now that I know what they're called. And just a very little bit. Okay, just a little dusting. Take off all that excess on your pine cones. And then I have some little styrofoam kind of little berries here. Now, once you've done that and you've started building this up, the next step is, and this is, I've got to kind of tilt it this way, is that you want to take your tree and you want to place it wherever you want it. Now look at that tree. That tree won't move, even though I've got this flat and I'm going against how the tree is standing up this way. That won't move because the ice effect and the modeling paste create a really gorgeous thick paste. The modeling paste on its own won't do that. The ice effect might, but this is what you get, this gorgeous little tree. And then what you want to do is you just want to build up your little story that you have going on. So now I have a pine cone in there. So you just want to build up that little story. And then I'm going to bring in some little red berries. And I just wish it was so much easier for you guys to see how beautiful this is actually looking. It's just so pretty. And then put the berries along where the other berries are. So can you see that now? So we have such a 3D bauble here. Okay, and then the next step that you're going to do, if you're happy with this and you're quite content with where this is going, you're going to do the exact same thing on your other ball. And because you want to create a 3D effect, you're actually going to apply it back in the other ball and continue building your scene. So just remember where the rest of your trees will go, because what you want to do is to make sure your trees are actually on this side or on the opposite side where you put the other tree down, okay? And I am actually going to come in with another little baby pine cone right here, because I really like these little pine cones. But you see how everything is staying in that paste? Nothing is moving. Okay? So I'm just going to leave this bowl right here, and let's do the other bowl. So we're going to do the same thing again. We are going to bring in our modeling paste light, okay, and we're going to create our snow here. Make it nice and peaky, okay. We're going to come in and sprinkle some glitter down. I don't want the glitter on the back there. And then we're going to clean our palette knife. This is not the easiest Facebook Live to do, let me tell you. And again, we're going to mush it in to create that gorgeous snow that is so white, yet it is so glistening because of the ice effect in it. And then just gauge it where you want it. And for me, I just want to get a little bit of ice effect on that back side right there. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to do the exact same thing, and you're going to bring in your little trees, because this is now what's going to give it that 3D effect, okay? Uh-oh, they go on this side actually. This is what I mean, just be careful on what side you put them on. And behind this tree, I'm going to put my berries, because I want the berries to show closer to the back of my bowl on this side. So I'm going to tuck them behind the tree there. So then you can see on this side what they look like. Okay? And then I'm going to do another tree and maybe a little baby acorn tucked in the back. And then I'm going to do a few more berries. Just some here that can peekaboo out, and maybe a little one rolling around here. Okay, so I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. I'm just going to put my paste away. Now this project, take your time with it, because you really do want things to dry, but obviously, like I said, we're not doing that today. We're just kind of going ahead. Now, here you have this one. Hi Gloria, here you have this one, and you can see how gorgeous that is and the little story that's going on there. And then here you have this one, which is so 3D, and you can see the little story that's going on in there. So the next thing that you want to do is, if you're happy with the way it's looking and you don't want to move anything around in your 3D balls, in your little baubles, 3D baubles, then what you can do is you can go ahead, but like I said, if you're at home, make sure you let this dry. And then this just pieces together just like this. Is very, very simple. And line it up at the top, which I didn't do. Line it up at the top. And then clip it back in like this. wipe off any excess that happens to come out, because remember, we don't want this on our ball. So you have now this gorgeous 3D ball. Do you see that? So it doesn't matter what angle you're going to look at this ball. Thank you, Susanna. Well, it doesn't matter which way you look at this ball, you're going to have this beautiful 3D going on, and you can put houses in it. You can put whatever you want in it. Okay? Thanks, Charlie. I wish somehow I could show you guys how gorgeous this is in real life. It's so shiny. So now that once you have this, the next step that you want to do, I'm just going to clean this off a little bit, because I know this is why you want to dry this, because any modeling paste you get on your hands or from the ball, what happens is you get it on your glass, your plastic bowl. So I'm just going to wipe this down a little bit while it's still wet. Make sure that's tucked in. Now you can glue this too, but to be honest with you, the modeling paste and all the potions you have in it are going to keep it pretty glued together, but I would glue it to be on the safe side. So there you have your little 3D ball. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to bring your ribbon around this. And for me, all I had was, I didn't have the ribbon that I wanted. I wanted a very vintage lace effect. Thank you, Jill. Thanks, Gloria. I wanted to make this so that it looked more pinky. So you can see in here, I've got hints of pink in there. Okay, yeah, the dimension is amazing in real life, Debbie. So what you want to do is you just want to take your ribbon, and this is where my Rosa baby came in. And all I did with this was I just put some droplets on just your regular typical lace ribbon that you get, and just very little droplets. And you can do this with any of the Media Mist or any of the Stamperia aqua colors. And you can just do this. Then what I did, I don't think there's a right or wrong way, I just ran my finger down it like this. And it was very, very bright, as you can see, compared to this one. So then I just spritz some water on that, and I just kind of mushed it all up like this, and I blended everything in. And this gives it a really, really shabby chic pink ribbon. Can you see how pinky and cute that is now? So then all you want to do is you can just go ahead and you can dry that. I've got water on my bowl here. You can go ahead and dry that. My little berries are over there. So my berries moved, so I'm trying to fix those, if you're wondering where I went. Okay, there we go. They're back to being where they should be. Okay, the ball will stand up on its own because of the weight in the bottom, so it will stay dead straight. So I'm going to dry that thoroughly. We'll be here. So now see how you have this gorgeous shabby chic ribbon that actually matches your bauble, but it's not completely pink and it's not completely ivory, and that is exactly the look I really want to go for. So you have hints of that. I really think it makes it look shabby chic. Now you can take glue to this. You can do this however you want. What I'm going to do is, for the purpose of this Facebook Live, I am just going to bring double-sided tape, and I am just going to run it down on this like this. And go around my bowl. Like so. And then I'm going to pull it up off. This is why it's important to have clean hands. And then I'm just going to take my lace, and keep your lace a little bit longer than the circumference of your bowl, because what happens, it will shrink as you dry it. And then what you can do is bring this around your bowl. Nothing's moving, everything's still staying where it should stay. And there you have that. Yep, that looks good. Cut off the excess. Whoops, cut off a little bit too much. And then your final thing that you want to do is come in with your bow. And put a bow on both sides when you do this. And there you have your bauble. I hope you guys can see inside there how dimensional that is. Oh, tough Facebook Live today, trying to get all that lighting done. But we persevered, and we have this gorgeous 3D bauble. I wish you could see it close up. I wish you could see how gorgeous and how shiny is this. It goes all the way around. And then you have this beautiful matching pink ribbon. And look, nothing's moved inside because, thank you, Terry. Thank you, Liliana. Nothing's moved inside because, honestly, making your own snow with that light modeling paste and the ice effect is such a great combination. And it's so glistening, and you have a little story to tell. Look, you don't have to use trees. Thanks, Lori. You don't have to use trees or berries or pine cones. You can use whatever you want. It's thanks, Min. It's one technique that you can take with you and do. And what I would suggest is just coming in and just putting a little clip on there to make sure your bow sticks down, and you can really see how gorgeous this little scene here is. Thank you, Carol. So I hope you enjoyed this. This was my previous one that I did. I'm kind of like, there goes my bow. I'm kind of liking this one because I've only got a very little bit of dusting around it. Thanks, Diane. I prefer that than having lots of snow that I had on this one, because I really think this lends itself well to the scene inside. And again, apologies for the lighting. And that's it. This will stand, like I said, on its own because of the weight once that clip is off. There you have my little Christmas scene. I'm just going to see if I can't move that ring light up so it's off there. Let's just push it back, but that's a bit better. There you have that one. And then here are the other two, which if you missed the Facebook Live earlier, I did talk about these ones also and how to create these. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for joining me. I'm gonna go see, and my tea is ready, and have my tea and chat with Dali and see what she thought of the Facebook Live, because I always like her feedback. But there you have it, 3 very different baubles using the same paper and just different techniques. It's entirely up to you. You can cover the whole bowl, you can make a 3D version of it. But thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kind words, your encouragement. It means the world. And I will see you guys all next Tuesday. Now, I did want to say also, I've got a really busy week this week. I'm doing a YouTube hop. Dali's already done her YouTube hop. The video has to be submitted Friday. I've never edited YouTube videos or made a video where I've had to edit it and do audio over and subtitles. So really, to be honest with you guys, I'm like a little bit panicked, but next few days I'm going to persevere through it, and I'm hoping by next week, when that's off my kind of table, if you will, no promises, but I might do a live, not my Technique Tuesday live, another live, because I just got 3 boxes of my favorite Fabrico papers in. They're Christmas, autumn, they're just beautiful papers. I might just do a live on that and go through them and maybe do a sale or something. So if you guys want to join me for that, I will post that, but that's contingent on me getting everything done this week. So there you go. I am loving my new ball. Thank you. I will see you guys all next week, because I better get on with that YouTube hop. Okay, guys, love you guys so much. Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. You're welcome, man.